Good afternoon, everybody. It's Greg Schmieg, and I'm coming to you today on July the 2nd, the second day of our third year of operation. And I know it's been a few weeks, maybe even a month or so since the last video, but since we have just finished the end of our second year and are beginning our third year, I thought this was an appropriate time. As I've told you before, I'm a little nervous about doing videos, but I've gotten some positive feedback that it's maybe a little easier to communicate via the video versus a recording, so I'm going to keep trying to do this. I've got some notes I want to just touch on as we go through the video. So let me start by doing a little bit of the end of the year, kind of reflecting back. And so the state fiscal year that just ended on Monday, June 30th of 2014, we really completed our second year of the transition into the new agency. And one of my points here is I want to acknowledge all the challenges that you've all had to go through, and I know the second year was really a very tough year, but it was a year that we tried to make some advances and progress on some of the challenges that we were facing. For example, in VR, as you all know, the year before we had to close all the priority categories. We reopened Category A last October 1st, and then we reopened all the other categories this past February 1st. And I've also done some things and made some decisions that are probably unpopular with some of you, and I just wanted to acknowledge that all the decisions I make and have made and will continue to make are decisions I think are in the best interest of the people that were intended and mandated to serve, the citizens of Georgia with disabilities. So for example, I know one of the unpopular decisions was to use the Bobby Dodd call center and the Center for the Visually Impaired call center to re-engage VR clients that were in status 4, 2, 4, and 10. I still think it was the right decision as a way to try to get clients into services quicker, and that's really our goal. And every decision I make, and some of them I know are going to be disagreeable to you or controversial, will be decisions that I think are in the best interest of those that we're supposed to be serving. One of our accomplishments as we reflect back on this year was the transition of the hospitals from Roosevelt Warm Springs to Board of Regents and Georgia Regents Health System. We finished actually all the legal documents about 8:30 on Monday night, and then yesterday was the first day of the hospitals being operated by what is being called the Roosevelt Warm Springs Rehabilitation and Specialty Hospitals. It's a nonprofit set up by the Board of Regents under Georgia Regents University. So we're very excited about that accomplishment. It will allow Roosevelt Warm Springs, that's part of GVRA, to really focus in on vocational rehabilitation services and really continue to transform that campus. Some other highlights that I think of that just come to mind are we added constituent services as a new function under Kevin Harris this year. And that's really to focus on how do we become proactive in really advocating on behalf of all the clients we serve in all of our programs to ensure that they get the services that will assist them the most and help them achieve their goals. And recently we've added business relations. And it's really our attempt to try to aggressively get the employer community into our field and get a relationship going at all levels of the employer community so that we can be more successful in placing our clients in competitive and integrated jobs. As we look forward to the new year, there's a little theme that I've been thinking of and I'd like to share with you, and it's something I learned when I was going through my master's program, and it talked about when groups come together. They usually go through 3 phases. They form, they storm, and then they perform. And so I've used that analogy thinking about our transition into GVRA, and our first year was really the year that we formed. This past year, our second year, was the year that, as you all know, we stormed. And now as we enter the third year, our third phase, I like to think of this as the year that we begin to perform. And so in order to do that, we are continuing to try to get our own house in order. And so some of the things that you should be looking forward to and seeing is that We want to make sure that every location of GVRA, whether it's VR, DAS, Warm Springs, whatever the BEP, whatever the entity is, that we have proper signage and accurate signage. I want to make sure that you get the kind of HR support that you need, that you get the kind of IT support that you need, as we've begun to put in place our own IT department, and facility support that you need, so that we are supporting you so that you can perform and serve the clients you're intended to serve. We've also been working internally on setting some very aggressive agency goals and some program goals, and they're going to be coming out with those pretty soon, so you'll all be seeing those, but they're very aggressive. And really, to me, it's all about the measure of our success as individual programs, and the measure of our success as an agency is the number of people that we're able to serve successfully and the number of positive outcomes we can achieve on behalf of those people we serve. So you're going to see some pretty aggressive goals, and we want to help you do that to the best of our ability. And then I guess as a final closing note, maybe, this Friday is July 4th, and so it's a great ceremonial day that recognizes our independence as a country. It's always a great holiday, so I want to make sure that I personally wish you a happy 4th of July. I hope you spend the time relaxing and enjoying it and celebrating with your family and friends. And here's to a great new year, and I look forward to working with you and achieving our goals for this coming year. Thank you very much.